This video wasn't planned because I wanted to share with you guys a dream that I had Friday night that relates to myself and to other believers as well. And I'm going to make that video and have it for you sometime tomorrow, maybe before noon or in the morning time. But I wanted to make this video here because I'm already seeing the false prophets have come out of the woodwork because of the Afghanistan issue. They're saying stuff like, see, this is why things are going the way it is, because Trump, if he was there, there's the spiritual meaning. The Great Awakening is happening. They're talking like this stuff. So I have to get on that because they use and try to find any little thing to keep their little false messages going and to hold on to their followers. And not realizing that Trump was the first president to sit down with the Taliban. He was the one released under his administration, released the co-founder of the Taliban from the prison in Pakistan, and all of this stuff, and brokered this agreement with supposedly some type of peace deal and a withdrawal. But the Republican Party has taken that down from the website. So people have tried to go there, reporters and people tried to go there, and it's gone. Now, some were able to capture some of that, but that's what's going on. And the point I'm trying to make is, it's funny, but it's not, because the prophets, they always are up to something. You think that maybe they're going to die down. Maybe it's going to die out. Maybe they don't have anything to hold on to. They'll move the dates. But they're holding on. Now they're making messages all about, oh, this Afghanistan stuff. Here it comes. It's happening now. And all that. You know what's happening right now? I watched the video of John MacArthur, and it's just like what I've been saying. God's judgment. He's talking about that as well. And I'll put the link in the description if I get a chance here. He's talking about, and just like I've been saying, God's judgment is on America. You know, America has so much, and I want to maybe make a video going into the details of some of the reasons why the judgment is upon America. But there's so much sins on the hands and spiritual blood on the hands of America. And God has placed his judgment upon America, his judgment upon the church. So a lot of these events and things that are happening has nothing to do with Trump, has nothing to do with anybody but us. He's come down upon the nation, and he's out there, and people need to wake up. You know, it's like you're hearing people all of a sudden, well, pray, God, we don't want to see nobody in a situation like that around the world. But we can't police the world. We've been trying it for years, over and over. We always get involved with things that we shouldn't do, but then the things that we should be involved in, we don't. So it's a fine line. And people are talking, Islam is the main religion in that country. So that's a problem right there. But there's other places in Somalia and China and other places around the world where there's Christianity there, and they're going through even more or worse where they are. But you don't ever hear anybody talking about pray for them. You don't pray for this Boko Hakim, the terrorist there that's in the African region, that's kidnapping girls and going through villages and slaughtering. And why aren't we there? Why is the Christian community not trying to gravitate towards, hey, do something, government, about this or that? See, and it's all about money, oil, power, and we already know that. See, but that's the thing. The Afghans had their chance. 20 years, they had their chance. We trained them. We gave them billions and billions and billions of dollars. They outnumbered the Taliban. They had superior weapons to the Taliban because we gave it to them. And all they had to do was fight for their country. You know, I love history and the world wars and all of that. And I always love talking to World War II vets over the years. And if they said that they fought in the Pacific or out on the beaches of Normandy, and I would ask them who was tougher, the Germans or the Japanese, and it was always split. But you always heard historians and other warriors, people that fought, talk about how tough tough the Japanese soldier was and faithful they were to their country. And they were willing to die, in many cases, to the last man on Iwo Jima, Okinawa. I mean, you talking about these guys fought to the death. Clint Eastwood made an excellent movie many years back, Letters of Iwo Jima, and it takes you into this. I mean, it's an excellent movie if you've never seen it, but it just shows you and it makes you respect. In most American, I mean, the military, everybody, you respect. I mean, because they were following orders and doing what they had to do, and that's the toughness. And you mean the Afghan army with what we've got, the superior weapons we have? I mean, it's no reason. They didn't want to fight for the country. And there's a Taliban scholar that said the Taliban fights for Allah, heaven, hell. You know, they're more so just like how the Japanese did. They believed in fighting for the emperor and having a more higher calling. So, but they were saying the Afghan soldiers that were trained in this part of their little military, that they are part of just money. They were fighting for money. So they didn't have this extra drive to fight. So, but you know, the point I'm trying to make out of this video is Trump ain't got nothing to do with this. There's no great awakening that's getting ready to happen because of all of this turmoil that's going across the world. The turmoil is happening because, just like I said, because God's judgment is upon this earth at the moment. The sins have rooted and uprooted and went towards his nostrils, and he is angry, and he is setting up. If people don't repent, if people keep following the false teachers, people, the ones that's preaching the false doctrine, you think about it. Think of all of the craziness within the religious sphere of all of the stuff that's going on within the religious realm, and how far off they are, and all of the teachings, and how far off the church is, and how the attitude of the church. And all of a sudden, you know, and they're still got their focus, as we talked about when I said yesterday. If Jesus said, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men to my, mankind to myself. But we're not lifting them up. Trump is lifted up. Other people are lifted up. Politicians, the things and other items and money and other worship. Some people are lifting up family members and friends and kids. You're not supposed, there's nothing. There's nothing that should come before him. Even your own child, even your loved one. God is always first. And that's the problem with America right now. Christ is not first. And you can sit back and try to think and hope for a great awakening of some sort. You better put your prayer belt on, your armor, and get ready for battle, because it's going to be tough. But I'm going to share with this dream that I had that relates to kind of what I'm talking about in a way, because it's actually a more so encouragement, but then a warning dream, not only to me, but it was like more so the Lord was like, share this with the Christian community. So stay tuned for that. So that's all I have for at the moment. Evangelism for God, Maurice Braxton's my name, the channel that talks about issues the church run away from and expose Satan and his devices. Until the next video, my friends, take care. God bless.